South by Southwest is best known for its conferences and festivals to celebrate the convergence of tech, film, music, education, and culture and comedy. It started in the late 80s as a local music festival and has grown into a premier launching point for up-and-coming music, arts, under-the-radar movies, and tech startups. Because of its cachet, the biggest names in the entertainment and tech now flock to Austin every year for South by Southwest. And this year, the vibe is incredible because it's coming after 2 full years. Hello and welcome to the special South by Southwest Austin 2022. This year marks the 34th year of South by Southwest, the hybrid film, music, and comedy festival held in Austin, Texas. After a gap of 2 years, South by Southwest returned to a sense of normalcy this year between March 11 and 20th by offering in-person events while still utilizing the virtual festival experience it has relied on since the pandemic began. Each year, the film festival section of South by Southwest grows in scale and patrons, offering an impressive variety of the latest indie and studio titles from film and television, representing all corners of the world. And this year, the festival was a whirlwind of film screening, red carpet, and much more. The red carpet premiere of the Apple TV series WeCrashed was held at the Paramount Theater. WeCrashed follows the story of Adam and Rebecca Newman, the couple who started WeWork.
WeWork.
Who wins in a fight? The smart guy or the crazy guy? Are you crazy enough? I may be.
Is Adam for real?
I wouldn't be with him if he wasn't.
The wife, she works there.
She helps him manifest things.
How did you get the idea to make it into a series? You watched the documentary, and what was like the confidence that you had that this story needs to be told as is as much the best characters and the podcast and everything combined that we were all ready for it?
I'll answer that. The idea was Lee called me up and said, hey, let's make this thing into a series. And I said, great. So that was it for me. Lee?
Yeah, I mean, I think that for me and for Drew, I mean, the characters at the center of this are so fascinating and complicated, and we really tried to show so many different shades of them. So at times during the story, you're rooting for them, at other times you're frustrated, and seeing those characters in this moment where, you know, there's something called the unicorn stampede where all of these companies are about to IPO, and telling the story within this moment felt really kind of, it felt right for this time, and also felt like a story that's universal.
Annie and Jared, they live and breathe these two people, and their own inner process of figuring out who they are and what their motives were and where their drive and ambition came from was such a fascinating process to be a part of. And so I think for us, it was really important for us not to put a flag in the sand of who these people were, and just to let the audience kind of go on the ride of deciding who they are.
Thank you so much for coming to our Austin, Texas.
You have amazing skin.
Oh, I was just telling you, you're really popular in the Indian community. Everyone's favorite is you. So thank you so much, and we love the intern and anything you've done.
Thank you very much.
And looking forward to this series. So how was it playing Rebecca?
I learned so much from playing her. There really is something to be said about playing a character that has healthier habits than you. And I spent almost a year living as her, which meant, you know, and she has a very strong spiritual life. So It was difficult. She did some things that I don't agree with, but at the end of the day, my feelings about it don't really matter. What mattered was that I always be able to look at her with compassion and understanding to try to get to a fair version of the truth.
I just got done interviewing Anne Hathaway. She was so amazing, so friendly, so kind. She stopped and took pictures with everybody, and she was just so patient. And even while doing interviews, she's smiling and waving at people, and I have never seen that before. And I told her how much Indian community loves her. What did it take for you to prepare for Adam, like a person who went out to change the world and crashed?
But it took. The thing that was great about it is the story's so recent. I was able to just had an abundance of material, and I just dove deep. And articles, video, talked to people that knew him, and did my research. Of course, there's a great podcast as well, and it was a lot of fun. I dove deep. Really fascinating character and a really compelling story.
I was intrigued by all the things I found out, but really what got me to care and to empathize is when I started learning about the person behind it. And that to me was really something that I wanted to try and explore, is what's the human experience of this story we all know. And that's really what I wanted to sink my teeth in.
So I'm here again on South by Southwest red carpet for Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with Nicolas Cage. He's going to walk in just any moment from now. So please stand by as we continue our coverage. This year, one of South by Southwest's glitziest blockbuster premieres was The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, directed by Tom Gormican and starring Nicolas Cage. The movie released in theaters on 22nd April and has been garnering rave reviews. The action comedy centers around Cage in his most meta performance yet, playing himself as he takes a high-paying gig attending the birthday of a mega wealthy superfan.
I didn't know that was a cliff. We could have died.
I'm in position.
I think that's the actor Nick Cage.
Nick Cage, I love you.
How was it preparing for Nick Cage? Nicolas Cage preparing for Nick Cage? Can't even imagine.
So weird. So strange. I mean, the thing with me was I was terrified of the whole experience. I was worried that it was going to be like an SNL sketch mocking me, but Tom was very careful about that, the director. He was celebrating some of the earlier work, but he had these two inventions that were wonderful. One was the Nicky character, which is the younger version, and I had so much fun playing that guy. He's a blast. I can't wait to see him tonight. For me, that's the movie, and that's what I wanted to do. And he had these Cabinet of Dr. Caligari vignettes that he also had in the movie, where my character is in black and white with the Caligari makeup, and it's Ben Sanderson, it's Castor Troy, it's Memphis Reigns, and hopefully you'll get to see that on the Blu-ray. It didn't make it in the actual movie, but that was also why I wanted to do this film.
How was the first scene when you filmed with Nick Cage?
The first scene that we were in Dubrovnik, Croatia, and it was actually one of the longer dialogue scenes in the entire movie on the very, very first day. And I don't know, I hope it worked, because I think my motivation in it was like, holy shit, I can't believe this is happening.
How did you come up with this idea of writing such a unique kind of script with comedy and some emotion and reality all together?
We just wanted to explore who Nicolas Cage is, because I think we all agree he's a fascinating oddball, and I wanted to dig into who he really was, but at the same time it's a bit of like a piece of performance art. There's things that are real, there's things that are not real, and the most interesting moments to me were when the two things collided and I didn't know which was which. The character was called Nicolas Cage, there was no one else. If he did not do it, this was a colossal waste of time.
The name, how did you come up with all that?
That was all Kevin Etten and Tom Gormican. Those guys worked on this script for over a year, and they literally did not work outside of it. They decided to take off of their day jobs and just write. And so that was their idea for the title, their idea for the concept.
2022 lineup of South by Southwest Festival comprised of 76 world premieres, 4 international premieres, 4 North American premieres, 2 US premieres, 13 Texas premieres, and 111 short films, plus 24 music videos, episodic premieres, 6 episodic pilots, 29 XR experience projects, formerly virtual cinema, and 19 design entries. Well guys, it's time for a short break, and when we come back, we'll bring you glimpses of exclusive interviews with Rohit Bhargava, the founder of the Non-Obvious Company, author Deepa Purushottamam, author 02 Podcast Holly Shannon, and podcast manager at CNN and meditation teacher Upasana Gautam. Stay tuned.